Hey Books, welcome into our Aquarius Pisces astrology tarot reading for December 2025. I thank you guys so much for being on this side of the channel. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. We're going to get into this message for my meditation here. It seems like for anybody with Aquarius Pisces heavily in their chart, this could also resonate for your 11th and 12th house placements, no matter what they are. Okay, that there's a lot of solar plexus healing happening. Something about authority issues or issues with authority. I'm hearing dictatorship. I almost feel like some energies here or something's been in rebellion for a long time. So someone might be having to review their relationship with authority. Maybe that pulls back into the moon reading that we did when it talks about sovereignty, like kind of reclaiming that power. Yeah, issues with authority might be very relevant here. Definitely something needs to heal in the solar plexus. I'm not really sure what just yet, but that's what was coming through. Almost seems like there's been a power struggle for a very long time here, Aquarius Pisces energies. And something's ready to rest. Like it's time to call a truce, or it's time to surrender the fight, or make peace with whatever is. Or reclaim that sovereignty. So you've been giving away your power a little bit too much, calling it back into you. Some of y'all might be experiencing new connections, new relationships, new partnerships in December. Having to fit that in is what I'm hearing. Having to fit that in to your world. Somebody might be wondering where they fit into your world. Somebody could be trying to fit themselves into your world somehow, some way. Again, maybe that's where that power struggle is coming from. Somebody maybe wants more time or claim on your attention or your focus, or maybe you're in this stance of you got to get in where you fit in right now. Okay? Take it all as always as it resonates with you. But show me your divine universe. What Aquarius Pisces energies and placements need to know here for December 2025. Okay. Cancer and Mars. Okay. Yeah. Somebody could be in their feelings here. You could be in your feelings. Somebody could be in their feelings about you. Active, like I said, solar flares. I can't make it up. Something about the solar plexus needing to heal or being very active right now. Could be something that needs to be paid attention to. Somebody could want you to nurture them, or maybe somebody feels a bit overextended in having to nurture themselves, people, places, situations, things. Maybe somebody has a lot on their plate here. Yeah, Gemini, cross-pollinate. Yeah, there's like a lot of different, I'm hearing like social engagements, or maybe this is a case of saying yes to too many things here. Yeah, expand, Sagittarius. And this is a 7th house axis here, Gemini and Sag. So there could be some sort of karma playing out here, Aquarius Pisces. Something maybe about this power struggle could be a karmic lesson for you that you're playing out. Okay. Tell me a little bit more. Jupiter, abundance, and Vesta and Hearth. Okay. Scorpio, investigate at the bottom. Okay, yeah. I definitely think there's something here that you're going to come into a deeper awareness around. When it comes to this power struggle, I almost feel like it's an internal feeling that maybe to your naked eye doesn't have any sort of root anywhere, like you're just feeling that, but maybe nobody's actively trying to be in a power struggle with you. There could be some sort of expansion happening in your life that is requiring more of your energy, so solar plexus. And that could be bringing out some deep-seated emotions, maybe the feeling of overwhelmed or the feeling of needing to be overprotective of yourself. Okay? Yeah, it's almost like the expansion is a good thing, but it also requires more of you. And that could be where the power struggle is. So you could be in a power struggle kind of with the universe and what's being manifested into your life or what you've called into your life. Could just seem overwhelming right now. I just get this sense of being overwhelmed. Like feeling like you don't have the energy to give to what is calling for your energy or what needs your energy, especially with this nurture. Okay. Some of you, this is about expanding your fire element or your fire energy, again, back to the solar plexus. Yeah, it's kind of giving, there are some things that you maybe have to do, or maybe you said yes to do that you kind of don't want to do now. Again, maybe a couple of overcommitments or saying yes to too many things. That's definitely a Sag trait sometimes, wanting to support and be there and show up for everybody, but you're only one person. You can't be in multiple spaces at once. And at the neglect even of themselves, that workhorse kind of a thing. So this could have to do with your career. Maybe it's about navigating some time off. I keep getting that. So maybe that's a collective message. Maybe some of y'all do have some time off. Again, we're in the middle of the holiday season, so that makes sense. But I also just get this kind of feeling of like drive. Like some of y'all might be very driven. And maybe what having drive or ambition looks like to you is saying yes to a whole bunch of things or making sure you're busy. I kind of get busy bee with that Gemini energy. And so there's maybe a need to expand your definition of ambition. Again, incorporating rest is always important. Rest can be productive. Right? Kind of adapting that mindset could be a bit of a struggle right now, but something that you might want to work towards. And that abundance is giving me like there's enough to go around. There's enough for everyone. So I don't know if there's this inner pressure here, Aquarius, Pisces, to go out and get it. Where it's like, if it's for you, it's for you. It'll always be there. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to rest. Heck, it's even okay to say no. If you really just genuinely don't have the energy. I almost feel like you're waiting on permission to take care of yourself here. And nobody can give you that permission but yourself. Okay? So some of y'all might be in a power struggle even just with your higher self. Your higher self could be calling you to slow down, take care of you. But the routines that you're normally in is kind of like a go, 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 do more, do more, do more. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. But let's get a little deeper into this. But yeah, I almost feel like it could be a power struggle between you and your higher self. So balance. Balance could be the name of the game here, or again, you just need to give yourself permission to take care of you. Okay? So your emotions are telling you a lot right now, Aquarius, Pisces placements. Tell me more about this Cancer energy. Hierophant, commitments, exactly. Some of y'all maybe feel like you overcommitted to something, or maybe that's even the power struggle, the status quo, what you're used to doing, and then what your reality or your life is calling you into. Okay, clarify solar flares. Oh, thought something flipped, sorry. There we go. The Knight of Swords, there you go. and nurture. Yeah. With the Six of Swords and the King of Swords, exactly. So I almost feel like you're being called into this King of Swords energy where you gotta be very mindful of who you give a yes to, what you agree to, okay? And maybe you kind of understand that a little bit better, or you see that a little bit differently now, or you will start to. Tell me more about nurture. Yeah, the sun. Exactly. Yeah, nurture the spirit. Strength with the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, again. I don't know. This just seems to be the main energy. It's like really paying attention to what you really have time for, Aquarius, Pisces. I mean, maybe not feeling guilty for not having enough energy or time for the things you used to. Maybe you're in a big cycle in a season of change and shift here, where what you once was able to sustain is a little bit more challenging or a little bit more difficult or not meant for you to sustain right now. So I do sense like a little bit of introspection could be helpful, to really listen into your higher self to see what they need from you, what you need from you, and then rework or rebuild whatever schedule you have, whatever commitments you have based off that need, okay? Yeah, it's almost like I'm strong, I can do it all, I can take it all on, but maybe it being a little too much. Okay? And that's okay. We all do it. Clarify the Gemini energy. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting with that devil there. Clarify Sagittarius. Okay, Eight of Wands, exactly. Yeah, I almost feel like the devil shows up as expectations. What's expected of you, especially with the Hierophant already out here. Obligations, what you're tied to, again, with the chains that come with the devil energy. And Sag energy, clarifying Sag energy, the Eight of Wands. Things could just be moving faster than anticipated, or yeah, it's almost like maybe that's a part of that Piscean energy that you have here, where things are kind of always in constant flow or shift, or a little abstract in a way. Nothing truly has form, nothing truly has structure. Maybe that's a way that you were very used to living your life, and something has changed here that requires structure. Okay. Clarify Jupiter and abundance. Eight of Swords. Okay. Vesta and Hearth. Ooh, the Chariot in reverse. Okay, interesting. Okay. Maybe some of y'all might be feeling like you don't really have enough time to kind of, and really no pun intended, but stop and smell the roses. Like, it's hard to see the abundance because things are moving so quickly, or again, there's so many commitments that you have to uphold, or like, yeah, I just get it's a battle. It's a bit of a struggle to nurture yourself in a way that I almost want to say allows you to keep up. With the Chariot in reverse, something could definitely be out of alignment with the Five of Wands here at the bottom, and the Page of Cups and the Hangman. Yeah, that's your energy here. Okay, in December, something absolutely is out of alignment here, Aquarius, Pisces, but it seems like you might be getting to the root of that throughout this month. You might be getting clues, you might be getting deeper understandings around what is misaligned so that you can align it, because you got double eights here. Okay, and we also had strength, which is an 8. So 888 could be a significant number. But it feels like moving so fast where you really don't have time to celebrate. You really don't have time to kind of soak in the abundance. But that's because of some sort of expectation or, again, overcommitment in some way. And again, solar plexus, like I'm saying, that might be the root of all of this. Maybe you just need to recalibrate your solar plexus chakra. Yeah, 4 swords, so you can regain some sort of peace of mind. Ace of cups, reconnect with your heart. Okay, so it seems like you're shifting out of this feeling of obligation and moving into limits. Like, not that, maybe that's what's kind of difficult, because again, that Piscean energy and even that Aquarian energy, both very much so not interested in the status quo, not really interested in viewing life as limited, right? Or really not too keen on structure all the way. Where it just feels like that's what life is calling for right now. So maybe there's a bit of a struggle to sort that out and figure that out. Maybe somebody feels here too that they rushed into some sort of commitment. Maybe somebody feels like they rushed into some sort of expansion or commitment or growth too soon. Again, this could be business. So taking on a little bit more than what your emotional body could handle. Okay, clarify the Hierophant and Cancer energy with the Mers. Thank you. Yeah, the 5 of Swords. Or maybe you said yes to something but didn't know it required so much. So your understanding of that commitment might be evolving here. Yeah, 8 of Cups. I think this is a call to detach from that Knight of Swords energy when it comes to, again, I can't get away from the word commitments. So again, you might want to say yes to everybody, but you can't. You don't have enough time in the day, or keep feeling like there's some sort of new reality you're in that is requiring something different from you. So it's making you have to reconfigure your priorities a little bit. Maybe that's it. Yeah, your priorities have changed. I just heard something doesn't feel the same. Okay, the King of Wands with the Sun energy, right? Maybe it's you who doesn't feel the same. Clarify the Devil with cross-pollinate. Yeah, I almost feel like somebody might regret a connection that they made or a commitment that was made. Yeah, 3 of Wands. Somebody couldn't anticipate how quickly something was going to happen, or the requirements, or like the energy needed. So again, saying yes to something that then overwhelms, or you might feel like you're struggling to complete in some way. Clarify the 8 of Wands with the Expand in Sagittarius. Thank you. 9 of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune, right? Something might have felt like a wish fulfillment, or you might have thought was a wish fulfillment. Okay? That's what I mean. Someone could like regret committing to something because it's not turning out to be alignment for them. Chariot in reverse. It's almost like being promised something will make you happy and it makes you miserable. I just heard somebody sip the Kool-Aid. Speaking of, which I'm not drinking Kool-Aid. I got some tea here. But, ooh, that's good. Yeah, justice. Somebody maybe feels trapped. Oh, okay, interesting. This is a different message maybe for somebody here. Somebody could have expected you to feel trapped or overwhelmed, and you might be handling something better than expected with the Sun energy and the King of Wands. Like you're keeping up with that Eight of Wands energy where it might have been set up to overwhelm you or bind you here. Okay, and then I'm also now getting another energy where like somebody's definition of abundance might be shifting and changing. That could be the what I thought it was versus what it really is. Something might not hold meaning for someone anymore. Clarify. Abundance. Thank you. King of Swords back out here. Right. I'm here, like, I didn't know what abundance was until this, that, and the third. Until I had this, or until I experienced that, or until I saw this, or encountered that. Like, somebody's reality has shifted. And they might be recognizing that they're in some sort of bind. Because that Chariot in reverse would say something's out of alignment. Something's not in alignment with destiny or not moving forward. Yeah, Page of Swords. Like I said, like someone maybe thought or assumed, I just heard. Six of Pentacles at the bottom. Like I said, this could be a part of a karmic lesson that someone's learning. Yeah, about like, what do you really have to give? And then what do you have room to receive? So again, somebody either overcommitted or might be very used to overgiving or stretching themselves kind of thin, and having to pull back could be a bit of a struggle, but it's like a highlighted energy for December. And of course, it's the holiday season. So, well, I told, you know, this person and that person and this person that we would show up and I would do this and I would help them with that. But it's like, in reality, do you really have the time for all of that? Or in reality, where are you taking care of yourself? So maybe this has to do with self-sacrifice here, Aquarius, Pisces energies. Where at once you could afford to do that, or you felt like you could, but this new reality is showing you that you don't have as much room for that. Or it's just not in your wheelhouse anymore to do that. Yeah, commune and radiance, yeah. Energy, the sun, this is what I mean. It's like at one point, maybe this is just a part of wisdom or a part of the Hierophant coming out, a part of your maturation process. You know, I just feel like someone feels like their energy levels aren't the same. It's just like, I don't have the capacity to do what I once did, but almost looking at that as like wanting to get back into that flow, but it's just not aligned. It's just not, I don't want to say possible, but times are different, or your world is different now. It's almost like being single, and of course you could show up to here, you could go to this party, you could stay up till 4 or 5, 6 in the morning, whatever. Or, you know, in your 20s, you're like, oh, whatever. I can run off 3 hours of sleep and a coffee and I'm fine, right? But once you get to that 30 here, or the mid-30s, or you start hitting 40, it's like your body is different. And I'm only using that as an example. It could ring true for somebody here, but it's that acceptance that things have changed. Somebody could be struggling with accepting that things aren't the way they used to be. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about it. Yeah, inner peace. Inner peace. Ooh. Exactly. Magician. And I think that's where that Cancer, being overwhelmed emotionally, you got to do what brings you inner peace. Okay, running yourself into the ground is maybe no longer an option, especially during this time of the year. You got to do what you can with what you got with that Magician energy. Clarify. Ooh, okay. What else? What else is happening? What's the wisdom? Wounded healer. Okay. Yeah. Some of y'all have healed some wounds that no longer allow you to stretch yourself thin. That no longer allow you to overcommit. And that could be the power struggle between that version of yourself and the person you are now. Yeah, grace. You got to give yourself grace. Okay. I feel like this is the side of healing that we really don't talk about too much, where there is a bit of mourning that happens because your body or your mind or your emotional centers or energetic centers are so used to operating in one way that when you do recalibrate, when you do that healing work, when you shift yourself, it does feel like, I'm almost hearing like separation anxiety. Like you do feel separate from that person, and then that causes a ripple effect outward. So then people have to get used to the new you, and you're maybe not as social as you once were. Or again, it's like things have changed. So maybe it's more than just you. Maybe there's multiple people connected to you or surrounding you that might be having a hard time with this shift in you. So continue to give yourself grace and give others grace, as like I feel like everybody involved is having to adjust. This is maybe a big adjustment period for you. Okay, clarify. Surrender. Yeah. And destiny. Right. Right. Now, destiny coming out here with the Chariot in reverse, it tells me that maybe somebody has a new perception of what destiny is, or how destiny is playing out in their world or in their life. Somebody could have been aiming or gunning or trying to expand towards a particular destiny they felt was aligned with them. And that might have changed. Maybe someone's being asked to surrender the striving towards that. Yeah, maybe that's a part of it too. Somebody could be having to reconcile within themselves that maybe life didn't go the way they thought it would, but it doesn't mean that they're in lack. It doesn't mean that life isn't going well. It's just maybe not how someone envisioned it. So yeah, I get that. Somebody could have had their mind set on their life playing out a certain way, and life has taken shape and taken form, and it's like, okay, how do I find inner peace around this actually being what was meant to be? Or this being the result of what I created, Magician energy. Maybe that's a part of it too. Somebody could have created their current reality out of a wound. So someone needs to extend themselves grace for that. And now that they're maybe healing or they have healed, it's like the reflection of that wound is everywhere. So really, maybe the universe is challenging you here, Aquarius, Pisces energies and placements, to accept what is as a part of your destiny. This was always maybe destined to be, or this is the destiny that was created, or the fate. Like maybe some of y'all are living out fated energy right now. Okay. Yeah, enchantment. Somebody was under the idea or the impression that life was going to play out differently, or maybe even enchanted by the idea of whatever this commitment was, or whatever isn't actually in alignment with them. Again, it's just like, I thought I wanted this, and maybe it, it really wasn't the best, or now I feel a little bit overwhelmed, or I took on a little bit too much, and so, okay, now I got to scale back, and figuring all of that out. It seems more or less like a lot of reality shifting in this part of the chart if you have placements here, okay? especially if you're on this cusp. Yeah, reality shifting with the breakthrough, especially if you're on this cusp. Clarify the wounded healer. Okay, the beloved. Yeah, that's what I meant by commitment. This could have to do with relationships or partnerships. Okay. Somebody could recognize that they made a commitment to somebody or committed to having someone in their world or in their life based off of a wound that needed to heal. Someone could be having that breakthrough moment here in December, like everything in my reality was created out of this wound that now has healed. Okay. I can't make it up. Acceptance at the bottom. And just because you accept something here doesn't necessarily mean that you are complacent with it. That maybe needs to be said. It doesn't mean that it can't change and it can't shift. I almost feel like somebody feels like they have to live out the suffering. Like, okay, well, I created this, so I gotta suffer through it. And it's like, no, once you step into that awareness and you have that breakthrough, you can accept that this is how you got there through that wound. But from a healed space, you still have that magician power and that magician energy to create something different and to shift it. Okay, so don't give up on your life or give up on yourself if that's relevant for you. This is where grace, grace is needed for harmony. Maybe that's the call right now. You're being called to give yourself grace. That's way more challenging sometimes, depending on where you are in life, than we think. To be kind to ourselves when we are recognizing that, dang, that might have been the wrong turn, or man, that might have been a mistake, or you know, I was in a very different space, or man, I wish this is like where all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas kind of come up. And man, if I only known, then I wouldn't have did this and I wouldn't have did that. And you could spend a lifetime living in that world and living in that mindset, but it exists, it's here. You got to start from the now. Okay. Rehashing what could have been different in the past can sometimes be beneficial, but nothing about the past can change. It already happened. The only thing you really have control over is the present, so that your future can be more aligned. Okay. I saw a post the other day that might be very helpful here for somebody, where it said something to the effect of start making choices and decisions from the mindset of who you want to be. So if you're feeling that kind of distance between this is who I want to be, but these are my patterns and who I am now, start trying to think of, well, what would that version of me do in this moment? Even if this is you trying to work your way towards healing, what would the healed version of me do? What would healing look like? And then start making that choice, no matter how difficult, no matter how challenging. But then that's how you start to manifest that version of yourself. Okay, so maybe that's kind of what you're being led into. And might be a big theme for you here in 2026. Okay, tell me a little bit more about surrender. Thank you. Stillness, yeah. It's like rather than rush into the next decision, into the next commitment, into the next step, just sitting in the revelations that you're being shown right now, Aquarius, Pisces energies, can do a world of wonder for you. Can really kind of complete this healing process that I feel like you've been in. Yeah, wealth. Yeah. And again, some of you are redefining what wealth and success and alignment might even look like for you, or reshaping your vision of what is destined to be. Okay. Alrighty, my loves, you got a lot of Jupiter energy here. So I'm not surprised that that feeling of overwhelm or expansion, or there being a lot of abundance in your world, but again, having to align your mind and heart to see it. Okay, and I feel like we've been talking about that for a good little minute here, Aquarius, Pisces. So I do see you making progress in that area. Congratulations on that. Okay, you got a lot of Venus energy here, a lot of Pluto as well. Okay. So check into those placements. Natal chart calculators are in the description box below. They are free. And let me know if this resonates with you or what connected with a part of your story here. I really do hope that this serves you well whenever it is divinely meant to. I thank you guys again for being on this side of the channel. And I'll catch you in our next one. Namaste.